A quick update. The Tulsa, and ladies and gentlemen, last I left off, got the whole thing painted flat black. That helps with the bottom of the hull. And then I went ahead and masked off the water line. So we're ready for paint, and we're going to paint the main hull a light gray 990 from Vallejo there. So got everything masked off. I got to mask off the inside of the which I forgot to do, but we'll get that masked off, and then hopefully get the whole thing painted gray. And then once that dries, I'll rip tape off, and then we'll paint the upper deck here, which is a neutral gray, and then there's a couple of little spots of neutral gray that we will get painted. But anyway, that's where I am on the Tulsa. I wanted to show that before I get a little farther ahead here, because we're down to getting ready for paint, and I wanted to show the simple masking for the water line of the Tulsa. So that's where I am on the Tulsa. The flight deck, and you probably can't see it. I'm going to have to try to show you all the blast shield. I got it glued on, and I actually got telescoping tubing on there, so I'll try to show that later. Of course I got one crooked, but anyway, it's going to be in the ceiling. You ain't going to see it. So anyway, the F-18s, and I wanted to show this real quick because I'm at the point where I'm going to have to put the canopy on, because we're basically ready for painting on it as well. And I don't know if you can see it, maybe with the light and everything, but I did get the cockpits painted just a dark gray. I put a couple of washes in there, and did a little bit of dry brushing. Really don't know if you can see it. Also did that with the pilot, just green, a blue helmet, and did a little washes and a little bit of dry brushing on the uniform, because that's all you're going to see on him. So hopefully you might be able to see it. Don't need to go all in-depth painting on him, because from 48 feet away you're not going to see him, especially on the ceiling tile. But anyway, I'm probably going to add I might add like a little stripe or two on his helmet, just to make it look like there's a design on or something. But other than that, I want to put the canopy on and get that masked off, and we can start painting. I did that the same way with the second Hornet here. I did an orange helmet. I was in memory of Goose there. I thought that would look pretty darn silly. But anyway, a little dark, a little bit of dry brushing, and a couple of, I want to say, black-green washes, and we are good to go. So anyway, that's all you're going to see on that. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on the cockpit when you can't even see it, especially you can't even see it from that far away. So anyway, it looks like it's there, and that's all we care about. So the F-18s, the cockpits are basically painted, ready to go. I'm going to start painting it probably either tomorrow or even late tonight. Anyway, we're going to go with the navy set here. I had one of the colors. I needed a couple of the colors off this to do it right, so we went with the Ammo Mig paint set. So we'll get that painted hopefully the next day, but I need to do a little pre-shade, and I'll show all that. But first I need to get the canopies on, and the canopies, and I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see it. There's a seam all the way down, and I'm not the best at getting seams out of the canopies. I mean, I can do it, but I did get that one out. And what I do is, a lot of people will sand it down and then buff it out. I like to take a sharp knife and just basically take the seam off and not gouge the plastic. I'll just get it down to the surface of the canopy. I take a fine, very fine, where it almost feels like paper, sanding stick, sand that down, and then once that's sanded everything, buff it out, and then I'll dip the whole thing in Future, and you'll have a nice, good, clear canopy, and we'll be ready to go. But anyway, I wanted to show the cockpit and the figure, because I'm just about done with that, and I need to get the canopy prepped and everything, and wanted to show that before I get it attached and masked off and everything else. But anyway, that's what I got going on today. F-18s, the pilots in the cockpits are painted, and we are getting ready to paint the Tulsa. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.